Okay, with both Colossus and Idle Springs done, we can now enter the castle. We do that underwater. However, there's one place that I do decide to go first. Before we do that, it takes me a few seconds to decide to do that. There we go. That's back out here. And that's because there is a little pool of water just outside of Glimmer. It's a little stream as well. See there. But over here, if we dive down under the water here, once we've collected the gems we missed out on originally, down here, there's some more gems under the water, and also there seems to be a little tunnel or passage we can go through. Make sure I've got all the gems there first. There we go, follow this around, pick a few more gems along the way. Then we come up in a little cave, a few more gems. When we reach the top of the staircase, it's a hidden orb, just next to Colossus. I decided to glide onto the portal of Colossus in case there was a skill point involved in that, but it turns out there wasn't. Or a trophy, but no, nothing. There would be though. It set up quite nicely. Anyway, yes, we can now swim underwater, pick up the gems here, and head into the castle. The remainder of the Summer Forest's worlds can be found. Okay, it should be pretty obvious to do here, but yeah, flame will charge the buttons and the doors will open and close accordingly. So when I charge this button, or flame it, this door opens but the one behind it closes.
You're well on your way, Spyro. Keep collecting talismans to help us defeat Ripto before he can take over Avalar. Oh, and keep collecting those orbs too. The professor thinks they will help you get back to the Dragon World.
I really don't get the point of that. Why is she reminding us?
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall. You could probably get it, but you'll have to learn how to climb first.
What does she think we've been doing up until this point? Yeah, we can't even get into the castle without having picked up at least one talisman. You can't leave a level without having a talisman. Officially. I suppose you can quit out, but still.
Your game camera is currently in passive mode. This mode requires you to manually control the camera. If you'd like, I can change the game camera to use active mode. In active mode, the camera adjusts itself based on your movement. Okay, I won't change it. Remember, you can change the camera mode yourself by using the options menu.
I probably could have done with active mode actually. Could have used it in both games so far. I was a little bit torn whether to go to Hurricos for this episode or as it's Sunny Beach. I decided to go to Hurricos in the end, and from my perspective, get something over and done with that I'm not particularly looking forward to. Or at least at the time wasn't looking forward to. And that's because in this level there was an orb challenge that used to scare me as a kid. And I figured it might be quite similar in this game.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields. I think there's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
We'll come across it in a bit, but it's a challenge where you have to put like lightning stones onto I don't know what to call them. Anyway, whilst you're doing that, the purple creatures, which you saw in the intro to this level, try to steal them, run off with them. So the idea is you put them in the positions to lure them out, and then you defeat each of them in turn, and then put all the lightning seeds, or stones, no, I said seeds, all the stones back on the plinths, I guess. Let's go with that. Essentially it's quite a simple task, but made a bit difficult by these purple creatures whose names I've forgotten. But along with that, there's some really loud noises. The audio from those creatures is, well, when I was young I found it terrifying. And some of the noises that some of the machinery made as well there, which has made for a very terrifying ordeal for me. But we'll come across that soon. In the meantime, we've just got to pick up the diodes, and I feel like, well, I suppose all else we played so far, it's doors you can't get through until you've found the diodes, which you just find them lying around on the floor. Wow, Zoe managed to go a whole meeting with us without reminding us to do something. You may notice I'm taking out these windmills as I go around as well, and that's because it's a skill point for taking out all of them. And I seem to vary in my opinion on whether I do everything now or at the end. And when I filmed this I decided, it was one of those days where I decided I was just going to pick up everything pretty much. So yeah, I'm getting the windmills now. Spread out across the level. It's just the small ones that count, not the large ones. But take out all those and you get a skill point for it. So we're heading towards that orb challenge now as well. It's just through here.
These gear grinder thieves keep taking our lightning stones. If you can replace them all and activate our generator, I'd be very grateful.
That was it. They're called gear grinders. Now what I was surprised about is, like I said, you have to put the stones on the plinths to lure out the gear grinders. But for some reason in this game I discovered quite early on is they just seem to run around. It's like right now I just saw one out the corner of the corner of my eye there. If I got there and flame it, another one will appear down where I am now, and you can just keep going back and forth and just take them out one at a time. And yeah, it actually makes it a lot easier, and as you can hear, the sounds from the machinery and the generator aren't as loud as they were in the original game, so well, not that I'd be scared of it now, but I'd say it's far more tolerable for a younger version of myself. So yeah, I realise at this point, yeah, they're appearing as they do, one up here followed by one down the other end. And yeah, I get this done in a matter of minutes as opposed to like 10-15 minutes in the original game, which, yeah, again, terrifying thing, and it's probably one of the longest challenges in the game, or in that game. I don't know why, but the picture at the bottom right hand corner of the screen of them reminds me of Thanos. I suppose because the shape of the head and the fact they're purple. And the creatures themselves don't, but that picture. charge through the last one. Okay, so that's the thieves taken care of. Now all we have to do is put the lightning stones back in their positions and the generator will work again. Also, there's no assigned positions, you can put them wherever you want, just as long as they're on some sort of plinth. You're fine.
Thank you, Spyro. I found this shiny thing mixed up with our lightning stones. Please, take it as a reward.
I find it funny that he mentioned that because I remember seeing another lightning stone in the floor still. I'll go back and check it because I'm just trying to get on with the level, but I mean, there's definitely one more on the floor. So I'm not sure if developers, Toys of War, just miscounted on that and just put an extra one in there. Or the off chance that you spat one over the edge and didn't respawn as a spare one. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of weird. Okay, the power I went past just now requires 18 enemies to be defeated, and once that happens, it turns into yet another supercharge. And the reason for that is because those large windmills, which don't count towards skill points, cannot be flamed or charged by us directly. So we have to use the power up in order to destroy them. And behind some of them are buttons. We hit the buttons, it slows down these turbines so we can traverse across them once we've also destroyed a further windmill, which allows us to get up higher up in the level, which takes us to the second orb challenge in this level. We've also got a trophy there for taking out all the robots. Isn't that nice? It's the end of the level just through here, but I'm only here to pick up the gems for now. And we'll come back here once we've completed the remaining orb challenges and picked up remaining gems. I did find this tricky because it takes some real lining up for some of these windmills, because two of them are just here and just charge in a straight line to destroy them. But there's also two more through that doorway, which are a bit hard to take care of. Also, I had no idea where I was going then, so it took me a few attempts to figure that out, and then to hit the windmills. I decided to leave it, I believe all of it in, just to show that I am human, I can make mistakes. I do so often. Again, just forgot where I was going that time. Finally took out one of them. That's the final button, I believe. Only windmill to take out now is the one that takes us, or reveals the staircase to us, takes us up higher. I don't really know how to describe it. But I managed to do that in one take, amazingly.
Spyro, do you see that big building over there? The gear grinders are using it to steal our electricity. Please help us by shutting down the machinery inside.
So I don't know what factory they're talking about, or what building they're talking about from this position, unless it is just that one there. But it can't be. Yeah, this challenge is all about platforming, and in a game that doesn't actually have too much platforming in it. I mean, there's bits here and there. I was investigating if I can actually get into what I now know is the building we're trying to get to, but no, I can't get to it from here. I mean, there's a bit of platforming throughout the levels, a bit of gliding here and there, but this is a challenge that is just solely platforming. I've completed the first half already.
Spyro, you have done well so far. You could have this little trinket for good luck. If you have any questions about shutting down the factory, just ask me.
Yes, this is an orb challenge that actually gives you 2 orbs as a reward. One for getting halfway, which we have done.
The next glides get tricky. You'll have to use your hover maneuver to make them. Press the action button during a glide to hover and get extra height. Remember to press the action button when you're very close to the windmill, or you won't make it.
And the other, after being reminded how to hover, is taking or getting to the factory and then shutting down the machinery inside. And you will need the hover to get across these gaps. Last the windmills, we get our skill point. And unfortunately, I pressed triangle to hover there, but nothing happened. And here I just got a bit lucky.
Spyro, help! The switch to turn off the gear grinder factory is in that room, but, it's awfully noisy in there.
Yeah, after all that, this guy could have just turned off the machinery himself, but no. We have to do it because it's a bit loud. Which I can't really talk about loud noises when I said just now that...
Thanks for shutting down the factory. Here, I found this stuck between the gears. You can have it if you want.
The other orb challenge in this level scared me as a kid because of the noises, so I can't really talk about loud noises, can I? There we go, that's all the orbs, all the gems, and we even got the skill point and trophies associated with this level, so we are 100% done here. So we won't be coming back to this level again, which is a shame because it has a nice theme to it. Yeah, onwards and upwards.
Thank you, Spyro. You've deactivated all of the electric barriers. We've been guarding this talisman from the gear grinders. Please, take it as a reward.
I guess the talismans are just ours to keep. It's a bit weird. It's a symbol for their worlds. Gotta love a happy ending.